What's going on, everyone? It is your girl Lauren from K Square TV, and I'm back just on a kind of different note this time because I wanted to talk to you about something that is obviously very, very pressing right now. So for those of you who don't know, in addition to YouTubing, I'm actually an accountant for my day job, and I will get into that in another video. But what you need to know right now is that I currently work for one of the largest self-service tax preparation companies, and I have been working for them as a tax expert, and I've been fielding a lot of calls from concerned customers who are wondering what do they have to do to get their stimulus check. And so what I really wanted to do in this video, I don't want to take too much time, but I do want to offer some insight. So if you are curious about what you need to do in terms of getting your stimulus check and the different things in association with that, this video is for you, so stay tuned. So we're back, and again, as I said, we are discussing the stimulus package and how do you go about getting your money. So as you all, I'm sure, are supremely and extremely aware of, on March 27th of this year, the CARES Act was passed into law. That was a Friday, and in that act there was a couple things that really kind of affect the everyday people like you and I. One of those things was the stimulus check that is going to be sent out to every eligible adult. And then the other was for small business owners who are currently facing challenges in this present time because of the corona pandemic. So if you are an individual, you don't own your own business, but you are an individual and you're wondering, how do I get that stimulus check? Where there's a couple things that you need to keep in mind. They are going to determine your eligibility based on your 2018 or your 2019 tax return. If you've already filed, then you are locked in for 2019. They will make adjustments in 2020 if you perhaps are underserved, but for the most part, you are locked in to that stimulus amount based on your 2019 return. If you have not filed 2019, or if you feel like your 2019 is going to push you over the threshold where it starts to phase out, but you filed your 2018, it might make sense to hold on to your 2019 return. Again, this is not necessarily advice for you for your specific situation. I would encourage you to speak to a certified public accountant, a certified tax professional, and they can really kind of hone in on the situation for you specifically. I am a CPA in the state of New York, so if you have questions, you're more than welcome to leave them in the comments below, and I will get back to you as best as I can. The other point that I want to bring out is that sometimes people are not required to file. So if you are someone who is self-employed, or you are in full-time ministry and maybe you are not necessarily generating revenue or enough to file with on your return, so you have not been filing, the IRS is working on a registration form for you so that you can put in your name, your filing status if you were to file, any dependents that you may have, and they're also going to take your banking information so they can do direct deposit, and I think there might be a couple other things, but again, we're not 100% clear on exactly what that registration form is going to look like, but do be on the lookout for that. I do want to let you know that if you're curious about updates and you want to kind of stay abreast of how things are moving, I would advise you to go to irs.gov/coronavirus. You can also search the the US Department of Treasury, they have some information. I know that turbotax.intuit.com on their main homepage, they have some information, so you're more than welcome to kind of check into those different sources. And obviously news outlets, media outlets are posting updates as well. But if you are concerned about the specifics of your individual case, I would advise you again to go see a licensed tax professional, or you can reach out to me in the comments below if you have other questions. The second thing that I want to let you know is if you are a small business owner, the SBA has a economic, and I'm pulling it up on the screen now so you can see it and follow along with me. They have the coronavirus economic injury disaster loan, and you are eligible to apply for that on their website. I must admit, I'm not super familiar with how that's going. I do know that there are a couple other YouTubers that have been putting out pretty solid information about this. Again, these things are very, very fluid. They are changing moment after moment by moment almost. But when that video was updated, they were saying that there was like a paper application that you had to fill out. As of now, it's been streamlined, so it looks from the website into just a relatively simple application that you can complete online. And I want to say too about that application that a part of the package is that you can get a $10,000 advance on the loan if you are approved. Again, I'm not 100% sure about the specifics of how they determine eligibility, but I do know that that application is currently up, and it is eligible also for single member LLCs and sole proprietors. I do want to just encourage you as you're getting this money. So for married, if you have no dependents and if you meet the income requirements, the AGI requirements based on your 2018 or 2019 tax return, and I will put those on the screen so you can just take a quick look. If you meet the requirements, your payout for the stimulus payment is going to be $2,400. If you are single and you are eligible to receive that payment, it's going to be $1,200. With both filing statuses, if you have a qualifying dependent, a qualifying child, you will get an additional $500. But again, this is all based on your tax returns, 2018, 2019, and if you are not required to file because of Social Security or because your income does not meet this threshold where you would need to file, this is going to be based on the information that you provide on that registration form. Just a note about Social Security, as of yesterday, April 1st, I was seeing on the US Department of Treasury website that they are going to determine your Social Security income based on the Social Security Administration's records. I cannot vouch for that 100% because once again, these things are moving all the time, but that is the most up-to-date information that I have about that at this point in time. And then I want to lastly just kind of throw this point as something for you to think about. If you are someone who is looking at this money and you're like, well, I'm excited that I'm getting it, but I don't actually need it. There are some people who are like that, who they have a lot of planned savings that is set aside, or they are currently not out of work, they're just able to work from home. If you are one of those people who may not necessarily need the stimulus money, this is just a windfall for you, it's not necessarily filling in a gap, I would encourage you to be intentional after returning a proper tithe, after donating to charity. I would encourage you to be very, very intentional and strategic about how you spend this money. It seems very easy to just kind of be like, oh, I had something that in mind that I wanted to get, and that is cool if that's your MO. So be it, more power to you, but I want to just at least deposit this into your spirit, that we are stewards of the funds that God lets cross our paths. And so my challenge to you is that you be intentional, that you be thoughtful, and that you be prayerful about how you spend that money. So if there's debt that you have that you've been kind of wrestling with, and you're like, I want to get out of debt, put this on the debt. If there is a skill that you want to acquire that you've been like, I just need a couple $100 so I can level up and skill up and sharpen my talents, use that money for that. If you have been just a little bit short because you wanted to start that business and you wanted to have the LLC, but you just didn't have the funds coming in, start it now. All I want to emphasize is whatever you do, make sure you are intentional. This is not every day that we have money just kind of coming our way in this manner. And obviously the circumstances in which we are getting it are devastating. People are losing their lives, and my prayers, my thoughts go out to those families who have lost loved ones. If you yourself are someone who is currently battling the coronavirus, or if you think that you may have it, I'm praying for you. And so I do not want to minimize the fact that people are suffering right now, but I also want to emphasize the fact that if you are getting this money, don't squander it. Don't waste it. Be intentional. So like I said, guys, this was not a super long video. This was just something very quick. I've been getting these questions a lot as I'm working from day to day, and I wanted to make sure to come on and let my family know, like here at K Squared TV, that I got your back, that whatever information that I have, I want to share it with you. Make sure you guys are clear on how you can get this money. And again, I will be praying for you. If you have prayer requests, if you have any questions, please put those in the comments below. I will definitely be checking in. I love you guys. I'm praying for you guys. And I hope that the Lord bless and keep you until the next time we see each other. Keep yourself safe. Keep your family safe. And please, I'm begging you, stay inside. Until next time, family. Peace.